Hello, I'm Philip Swift, trader and co-founder here at Decent Trader, and I'm going to give you a quick overview of Phil B's Predator Indicator. So Predator is a highly optimized algorithm with many key inputs and components, including trend, momentum and volume components, which ultimately helps simplify decision making for traders and helps take some of the emotions out of trading. Now, you can see here Predator on the chart. Here we're looking at the Bitcoin chart on a 3-day time period. Predator you can use all the way down to 30 minutes, right the way up to the weekly. Now, I'm going to talk you through the color-coded system of Predator. So first, you can see the turquoise colors here on the chart. So these turquoise candles tell us to either exit our previous short position if we were already in a trade, or to enter an initial long trade. The bright green colored candles you can see tell us to fully allocate long. So for example, if we were leverage trading, we might want to go leverage long here when we see the bright green candles. And just looking back here at the Bitcoin price action, you can see these candles told us to go long here at the start of October around $10,000 for Bitcoin, and they allowed us to ride the trend all the way up to $40,000. The orange candles you can see on the chart, they tell us to either exit a previous long position or to take an initial short trade entry. And the red candles you can see on the chart tell us to fully allocate short. Which would have helped us, you can see here, during the COVID crash back in March. Now, these are just suggested rules for Bitcoin. For example, with Bitcoin in a bull market, you may want to replace the shorting with simply reducing your size or going into a cash position. Some other features of Predator. The white circles on the chart here indicate choppy price action. And so what they recommend is to actually ignore the current candle and wait for confirmation of the next candle before taking necessary action. So you can see in this example here, the next candle was also orange, so that would have still told us to exit our previous long position. Another feature is the stop loss placement feature, which is the faint white lines you can see here following the price action, and they indicate a potential placement for stop losses when following the price of Bitcoin. So in this instance, you can see here, we would have moved our stops up all the way up on this trend. You don't have to use that feature, it's simply a suggestion. Now, when using Predator on the Bitcoin chart, in the settings, you can also select this Use Combined BTC Volume feature, which aggregates volume from across the largest spot exchanges for Bitcoin. When you're not using the Predator on the Bitcoin chart, you simply deselect this and click OK, and then you can go and use any other chart. So let's take a look at the S&P 500. Here you can see Predator very effective in the run-up and subsequent price action following the March COVID crash, broadly telling us to be long in the run-up to it, some opportunities to short, and then told us to exit those long positions just before the crash, and we then started leverage shorting all the way down and then exited those positions and then went long all the way back up. So Predator is excellent both as a risk management tool and also in allowing us to maximize our short trades and our long trades also. So when you look at charts like this, really ask yourself, could you have traded this effectively without using Predator? Now, how Phil B likes to use Predator is across multiple time frames. So it is possible in TradingView to set up a dashboard like this by selecting the layer option here. And you can select different time frames for Predator. You can see here running from the 1 hour all the way to the weekly. And that allows you to see whether there is confluence in what Predator is telling us. So if it is telling us to go long across all timeframes, that is obviously extremely bullish. And if it's starting to tell us to go short on the lower timeframes, that can be a warning sign as well. So very effective. This is how Phil B likes to use Predator, and we do recommend using that select layout option. Now, as I mentioned up front, Predator can also be used across other asset classes, and that includes altcoins. I personally really like to use Predator on altcoins. Here I am showing you Yearn Finance, a particularly volatile coin, and you can see how Predator told us to go short up at the top here. We rode that all the way down before then going long at the bottom, telling us to go long here with the bright green candles. Orange candles then told us to exit those long positions before then going short again all the way down before then finally going long. So just an example of how effective Predator also is on altcoins. Now, when you purchase Predator, you also automatically get access to a suite of other tools in the Decent Trader Toolkit. Here I'm just showing you one example, but you can see the website on the Predator page for a full list of the tools included in the Decent Trader Toolkit. Here we're looking at the Terminator Indicator, and the Terminator is a volume-based indicator which includes divergences, you can see here, to optimize trade entry and exits. Again, you can see how effective it was in the run-up to the March COVID crash. Also included in the toolkit are VWAP and TWAP bands. These are great for scalping and trade entries on lower time frames, and they've actually been critical recently in identifying accumulation algorithms in the crypto markets, particularly Bitcoin, as you can see here. And in addition to these indicators, there's another 5 or 6 which you can see on the website, including some macro indicators like the Pi Cycle Top Indicator, which was able to pick the macro tops of Bitcoin's price cycles for the last 8 years. Now, before you purchase Predator, we do recommend that you read the frequently asked questions and the disclaimer on the website. And it's also worth noting that there is also a support zone once you purchase Predator, where we give you access to videos and how-to guides to get the most out of Predator and also all the other tools in the toolkit. Finally, when you're ready to purchase, simply click one of the green buttons here, either the 1-year purchase or the lifetime access purchase button here. Thanks for listening. Speak to you soon.